Ignore the fact that my bed isn't made. Okay, thank you. I actually don't know how to show all of the books that I have. Like, I don't know how to take this thumbnail right now. These are the books that I have to show you guys. We'll just start to go through these books. I have like a short amount of time, so I'm gonna go quickly. And also, whenever I talk about books that I haven't read, I never know what to say. So let's just get started. I don't know how many books are here, so I'm gonna count them after. So the first book I have, some of these books I actually didn't buy, but I got from my sister because she had like a bunch of books in a box that she was gonna like get rid of or not have, so I just like took them all. And so I took the ones that like I was like interested in, so I'm gonna just, some of them are like a little bit odd, but I'm gonna keep them to read and have part of my collection because I literally can't just not have books. So the first book I have is Poetry to Make You Smile by Jane Wayne, I think. It's just like a little poetry book. The Unlikely Founder of Women's Basketball. Sounds interesting. It's like about a woman who founded basketball, I think. And then I have Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. Stevenson. And this is the most popular private story ever written, and I love pirates, if you guys didn't know. And I've been wanting to read more pirate books, more siren books. Like, I eat those up. I've also been just researching like in like a non-fiction way like pirates, and I've been wanting to read like non-fiction stories about pirates as well, but I'm very, very excited to just read this one. The next book I have is The Joy of Signing by Lottie L. Rieckhoff. This is just about like sign language, and I actually have been kind of feeling like I should learn it. I'm not like completely committed to the idea, but my sister had this book and I was like, I might as well have it just in case so I can start learning it. And I feel like it's something like really great, and I always feel bad that I don't know it because I feel like it's something that everyone should know, but I don't know it. So hopefully I can start learning it soon, or, you know, working on it this year. The next book I have is the third book in the Truly Devious series. And I have the second book, and then I just today bought the first book because I found it at a library for like 50 cents or $1, and I was like, okay, like now I can have it because I only had the second book, and so now I can have like the series together once I like have this one read. And I think there might be one more after this, I'm not too sure, but I'm really excited to have like the full series and be able to have it all together on my shelves. But these both count towards books that I bought. And then this is Sit Walk Stand, which is a very popular book, I believe, and it's very tiny, but I think my sister read this for school, so now I have it. And then I have Cinder, which I actually already have a copy of this, but it's in paperback and this is in hardback, so I just wanted to have both because I like to have several collections. I like to have several copies of different books, and Cinder is such a popular series where I feel like I love it. I can have like so many copies of all of the covers and all of the books or whatever, but if I end up not loving it, I can just donate this book. But I didn't buy it, my sister gave it to me again, so it's okay. The next book I have is The Beauty and the Beast. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. The Beauty and the Beast, The Beast Within, like the Beast's like villain story. There's basically like a whole series of like villain stories, and I've read I think 3 of them now, so I'm excited to pick this one up. And then this book I bought, and it's a Victorian book of days, and I can basically like fill in the days however I want. Like I could put birthdays in here, I could do whatever, but it has like Victorian pictures and quotes and things, so I'm very excited to use this. And then I got this journal as well at the library. It has like a little poem in the front, but it's 50 cents and it's really, really cute, and I love the way that it's like outlined and it's pink, so yeah. And then I thought this was funny. It's a lefty notebook, so it's like I can write with it like with my left hand without like having to write with my left hand like over the page or be weird, you know. So I'm very excited to use this because I struggle as a left-handed person to write normal notebooks. And then I got a travel journal. I actually have one already, but I feel like it's gonna fill up fast, so I'm going to start to fill out that one. And then today I got Songs of Vice by Nicole Bailey, and this is the Siren's Call book 1. I've never actually heard of this, but it just looks like a quick like new adult fantasy read. This is the little blurb if you guys want to read it. I'm also sorry that there's like a glare. I forgot to say this at like the beginning of the video, but there's a glare or like in the back, so ignore that, thank you. And then I got Three Sisters by Heather Morris, and it's based on a true story, but I love getting books about sisters where sisters are involved, and I will read basically anything. But this is, I believe, like historical fiction, but based on like reality or a true story, and it follows 3 perspectives of sisters, and one girl is 15, and I just thought it was cute because I think it would be perfect because I have 2 sisters, and so that's like 3 sisters, and reading about that to see how it's like portrayed in books is really interesting. And then I got The Final Revival of Opal and Neve by Donnie Walton, and I've heard a lot of really good things about this, but I feel like I have no idea what it's about, and it looks so interesting. And I was reading the synopsis and I was like, whoa, I feel like I would love this. So it kind of gives me like Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm not too sure if that's even accurate. I also always say this, I go into books so blind that like when I'm talking about them I don't really know like much. I just know like general things that you can get from it that make me excited to read them. So if you guys know anything else like spoiler free, something like cool to make me want to read them quicker, let me know down below if you've read any of these that I talk about. And then I had to get this month because I kind of have like a rule, not like a rule, but like the first 2 weeks of any month, like I try not to read any of the books that I got the last month, so then I can get books like from later off my TBR, like it just depends. So I had to get this month so then I could read it within the next month, and that is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas, and this is a fantasy book that's almost 1,000 pages. It's part of the Throne of Glass series. It's the last book, and I have been wanting to read this for so long, and I want to finish it so I can jump into Crescent City hopefully soon. Hopefully, keyword. I am so excited to be done with the series. I didn't enjoy it that much. I don't know, maybe I'll do like a full video deep diving into it. Who knows, but I want to just finish this, know what happens, because people say that this one just is so crazy. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, I want to read more about pirates, and this book is called Pirate Latitudes by Michael Crichton, and it's about pirates and about the Caribbean, and I think it's historical fiction if I'm not mistaken. So again, anything that like involves pirates, like I don't even have to know what it's about, I'm picking it up and I'm getting it, and then I will read it. Next I have Peter Pan by Jan Barry, and I actually already have a copy of this book as well. I know, I have so many books, but I love, like, I'm going to have a full-on library in my apartment after I graduate from college, and after like whatever I do, I will be having a room in my house that is a library, whether it's in the living room, whether it's a separate room, like no matter what, I will be having a library, and I'm so excited to read this. I haven't read it yet, and I have the other copy, and I don't know which copy I'll read, but again, some books I love to have different copies of, and this was one that my sister gave me. And another one that my sister gave me is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. This is junior classic, same with this one, and I have a couple other junior classics, so again, it'll be nice to have them next to each other because they just like look good on a shelf. And then I was talking about the villain series earlier, so this one is about Cruella de Vil, and I haven't read this one either yet, and it's again like a part of the villain stories, and I'm very, very excited to pick it up. I want to have all of them on my shelf. Like, I feel like this would be just such a cool series. They all have like different colors and everything to have on my shelf. And then I definitely want to do a reread of Hunger Games possibly this year. No one quote me on that, but there's a lot of like series and books that I want to reread this year and film like full spoiler videos for, and Hunger Games is one of those series, and I thought it would be nice possibly in that video or just in general to have these books. So this is The World of Hunger Games, and it just like talks about the world of Hunger Games and like different characters and deep diving into the movies and the books. And then there's the Hunger Games tribute guide, so it talks about all of the tributes, and then it talks about like from what district they're in and like the game makers and how they trained and what they're known for and all of that. Again, deep diving into the books and the movies. And then I got A Burial at Sea, which is another mystery, which I've been kind of in a mystery mood recently. I've been reading and picking up a lot more, and that means like as I'm reading them, I'm like, I need to get more because then I can have like the extra options of mystery books as I finish the other ones. So this one is a very popular one that I've heard a lot about, and it's by Charles Finch, and I'm excited to read it. If you guys want to see this. I think it's a more historical mystery, but this is the synopsis, if it's gonna focus. Don't know if it has. And then I have The Marriage Portrait by Margie O'Farrell. And I've heard so much about this. This author's gotten so many awards. Read this one as my first book by this author. The next book I got is The Thrifty Guide to Ancient Rome, a handbook for time travelers. And this is really, really interesting. I could also see myself giving this to my brother at some point if he like ever got interested in ancient Rome, because it's very like, it's a really cool way to say it. But I have a couple of video ideas even intertwined with this book, and I think it's super funny. 2 more junior classics for young readers, which again these 2 are for my sister. So this is The Wind in the Willows and The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And again, I'm just so excited to have these all on my shelf and super cute. I should probably read them soon. I have a lot of them, so I would love to pick them up, all of them, soon. The next book I have is Winter Garden by Kristen Hannon. I've heard so many great things about her writing, so I'm super excited to pick this up or have it. I believe it's a historical fiction book. I have all hardcover copies of the Hunger Games books except Catching Fire, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'll just take this and then I'll complete my series and I can keep the other paperback or donate it or something. But that way my series is all like one type of book, so hooray. And then I have Speak, which I watched this movie, I think, the beginning of this year or the end of last year. Bawled my eyes out, and it was so well done, and I've been thinking about it a lot more and more and more, and I'm like, I just like, that movie like changed the trajectory of my mind, and I would love to read the book that it was based on. Next, I got Anne of Green Gables, an illustrated classic, and I had to pick this one up because look at how beautiful this copy is. It has a little like illustration in the front, and there's illustrations throughout the book, and I'm just like, I love Anne of Green Gables. And then I got The Christmas Carol, The Chimes, and The Cricket on the Hearth by Charles Dickens. And this one, I actually didn't buy this one. This one was from my sister as well, but I figured I should keep it because it's a Barnes & Noble classic, and I want to, again, in my future library, have a little Barnes & Noble classic area. And another book series that I want to do a reread of is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, especially before the next season comes out. I want to like do a little refresher, so I'm going to reread those books, but I figured I should also like have some of the other books or whatever. And there's this Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the ultimate guide, so I'd love to like read this within it, and it's so cool. It has like the characters on there in that way, and like it's so interesting. So I'd love to have extra books to go along with the series in order to read, hopefully in that video. If you guys know me, I love Ellen Hildebrand. Her writing is so good, and she's like the fiction author, I feel like, in so many ways. So I picked up The Perfect Couple by her, and I have a couple of her books that I'd love to read, and maybe I should just do like a week of reading Ellen Hildebrand books like for a video or something, just because I feel like that'd be so much fun. And I love her writing, and I have so many books of hers that I have read, but I also have so many that I want to read, so I should get them all together and see if I have enough to read within a week. The next book I got is this really cute like fairies book, and it like deep dives into like different types of fairies, like fire fairies, air fairies, like earth fairies, and it's really cute and illustrated so well. This book I actually recently got recommended to me, and it's called A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and people say that if you like The Cruel Prince, you'll love this series, and I've been wanting to get into another series like that. Just young adult fantasy books, like I eat those up. And last but not least, I got The Idiot by Ella Botman, and this is a novel, and I have been wanting to pick this up for so long, but sometimes it's hard for me to just buy books new because I know I could probably find them used, and I found this one for literally like 50 cents at the library, and I was like, okay, perfect, it is the time to pick this up and get this so I can hopefully read it within the next couple of months, I could see. But I've heard that this just like changes your brain, it changes the way you think, and it's also just like intensely emotional and character driven. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like and subscribe. I don't know, I hope you enjoy this. Let me know if you guys want me to read any of these on a reading vlog, or if you have any other ideas for videos for me to film, including these books or writing ideas or really whatever. That's all from me. Bye.